That back to the Matrix live, y'all. Stevie B, Boston. You know what it is. We're back breaking down week 2 of the preseason. I mean, if y'all didn't see it, a lot was to be learned about the young quarterbacks in the game. And to be honest, this is going to be the year of young quarterbacks. We've seen it more recently, certain years, when these certain teams are finding their quarterback, and others are, have found them and then lost them, and then looking back, for example, when the Vikings drafted Teddy Bridgewater. And injuries played that out. I mean, he's been plagued by injuries most of his career, but has been solid everywhere he's went, to the point where somebody would have wanted to make him their long-term quarterback if they believed in him long-term. And now look at him being able to start again behind what is essentially their quarterback in law, or at least they believe to be. It's going to be a crazy year. We talking from home immediately that Mac Jones could potentially be the starting quarterback, and I want to get into what he's done at practice. If you keep up with those sort of things, then you heard that he did pretty well in the joint practice. I think he said the first day he wasn't too great, and then yesterday apparently he was great. But it says a lot, and we'll get into the point of that. Fields is probably going to be the starter eventually in Chicago. Jimmy can stay healthy. That's literally what the issue is for Jimmy. Not that the man has a record that I think he has a 700 winning record or more. 700% winning. Like, this shit is crazy. Or 75%. Or 70 plus. I can't remember, 70 plus. Something like that. I gotta look up Jimmy's exact numbers, but the man just can't stay on the field. And Lance has a nice arm and some running ability, and what you've seen even last week is Jimmy's in, and Jimmy throws an interception, but that was a tip ball. That was a catchable ball that went straight through dude's hands for the interception. All right, fine. But he looked good on the drive they put him in. He looked like Jimmy. That's what they have. Lance, of course, came in, struggled a little bit at first, but then, found his bearings. And that could come. That's what practice is about for these quarterbacks and against the second and third string guys. That's what it's about. What essentially you hope is that you get a Mahomes, you get a Lamar Jackson, you get my guy over in San Diego. It was all but done for them last year with Tyrod Taylor, and little do they know, you have a generational quarterback in there. And that's what a lot of these guys are starting to do, or attempting to do. Baker's been surrounded by a solid team. The Browns look like they have somebody, for the next 3 to 5 years. Mahomes and the Chiefs found their predecessor. Baltimore's found their predecessor. I'm going to assume that Allen is going to be a good quarterback in Buffalo, and we'll leave that be. I'm going to assume that Miami's found theirs in Tua. I'm going to assume, well, and the thing is, when you look at the Saints, clearly they're going to be rolling with with Jameis, which makes the most sense. The NFL is going to be a weird mix this year because you're going to have your consistency, and then you're going to have a lot of new stuff happening. Remember, just because Jared Goff switched teams doesn't mean he's going to be, Jared Goff with the Rams. That team looks a little suspect right now in Detroit. While at Stafford doesn't mean he's going to automatically blow it up in LA. But you're looking at new people in new situations all across the league. And it's hard to break down too much from the regular season, other than a few things. You see some things happening. Obviously Teddy's the quarterback. The Seahawks got a little something in DJ Dallas. He looked like he might be all right. I don't really take anything from the Titans and Bucks game, because that's not what I expect to see during the season. Pointless and criticizing that game. The Lions and Steelers game was pretty cool to watch. Ben Roethlisberger looked like he was airing it out and getting back to what they do. A couple series, do what you do. Juju did what he did. He had Ebron. I believe it's Eric Ebron. He at the tight end position did something. And you give Ben a decent tight end. I think they got a rookie tight end. Is it Fryer? I think it's Fryer. He's got something. He looks like he's pretty good, and I think Ben's gonna make a little something out of him, And as long and you mix that with Juju and a couple guys on the outside, they're looking all right. It's just how good is their running game going to be this year? We'll see. They look all right. They looked all right. That's the Steelers that you expect to see. They look active on defense. They running the ball, but Ben was airing it out. He has a couple tight ends he can throw to. I like what they look like and expect them to make noise if Ben's healthy. He's got something to prove in his own right. Bears and the Bills, that was a blowout. Chiefs and the Cards. Ain't much to say. I don't really judge teams that I expect to do. I expect them to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? It was the Ravens and Panthers. The Ravens killed the Panthers. Huntley. I wrote down there. Oh yeah, the early struggles because they're trying to make him. He looks kind of like Huntley looks kind of like Lamar. He's got a good arm. He had early struggles, but then he did his thing. He ran the offense and he was passing the ball. That's one thing I noticed in that game. And I liked the way he looked. And again, if you're going for the backup, and if they're going to have Lamar Jackson as their franchise quarterback, that means your backup your backup has to be a reflection of that. And I thought that was something smart I saw. I thought that was genius of them to groom somebody underneath this dude running that offense that looks similar to him. But they're having him pass the ball. And I love what I saw of that. He struggled early. And once, everybody's feet gets wet, and a lot of quarterbacks struggle early. The quarterback didn't struggle immediately with Mac Jones. He was just getting the ball out. Every other rookie quarterback struggled. I don't know what year Huntley was in there. But it was the first time I'm seeing him in the preseason. Again, we had no preseason last year, so I had no idea if he was or wasn't there. Somebody hit me to that. Yeah. That was what? Who's hitting this? Chiefs, Cards. Cards are gonna have a good year, and the Cards need to have a good year. It's do or die time for a lot of people. The Dolphins destroyed the Falcons, but again, how much does that really say? Washington beat the Bengals, and Burrow is supposed to get some burn this week. And let's talk about what we do know. And that's like we've done gone over my thoughts on a few teams and a few highlights. The Cowboys better fucking do something this year. This is put up a shut for a lot of teams. The Cards have to do something. Cowboys have to do something. The Bills can't falter. The Bears, no one's expecting them to do anything. The Vikings are like, what are you going to do? The Ravens have to do something. Again, the Packers have to do something. We expect that the Bucks, the Steelers have to do something. And there's a few, the Browns have to do something. 49ers have to do something, or Jimmy has to at least, you know. If Jimmy tanks or if Jimmy gets injured and they tank a season where they only go 500 because of the rookie, then fine. They won 8 games with the rookie, you know, he'll learn. But, you know, Hawks got to do something. Only one team can win the chip. So let's talk about what we know of Rick. The Rams acquired Sony Michel. That's going to be a great pickup for them. Great pickup for them. I say that because Sony Michel is a #1 running back. People forget he played with Chubb in college, and they were a tandem like no other. And Sony Michel was vastly underutilized out of the backfield here because of James White. No problem. And his injury problems. Just Harris obviously is the starting back. So Mac Jones was getting some burn with Sony. And he was giving him passes out of the backfield. Sony never got that when Brady was here. Sony didn't get that much last year. And again, that was because of injury. And then what happened? Harris established himself as the best back. What I like about Harris is he brings it back to, you know, that big back who is big and quick, you know, but powerful and can make cuts and go through the hole. One cut downhill back that we need. And it's young and we can get the best years out of this dude. It reminds me of when we got the last best year of Corey Dillon. And no, I don't think Harris is Corey Dillon. Corey Dillon's a fucking monster. He's legendary. But I think he can be better than who the hell we have. Who we have? Boy, Antoine. I can't remember. Can't remember his last name. Early teams. Y'all let me know. But you get what I'm saying? We had a couple one-cut downhill backs that got us to some championships. The Patriots letting go of Sony Michel. On the flip side, the Rams get something that will help them. A dude that is ready, that is in the prime of his career and healthy, you know. And you know, I wish the best for Sony, you know. And I like that they traded him to a situation like that because they could have sent him to oblivion for more. They got a couple little picks, and they traded him to somewhere where he'll matter. Like, he's worth that. I love Sony Michel as a back. Very shifty, powerful, sneaky, powerful, and can catch out the backfield if you throw the damn ball to him out the backfield, you know, because people expect him to run and people are afraid. He will bull over you, you know. The Patriots on the flip end, you had Harris. You have Harris as your #1 back. All right, stable, stay healthy. You have James White as your third down back still, and the look between Stevenson and J.J. Taylor, that looks like 2 good backs you have there. One of which will end up being special teams and special team offensively, but that's the reason they were able to do that. Okay, backs coming. It's well known that NFL running backs come into the league hitting the ground running. They hit the ground running because that's the one position where giving you the ball and that instinct and moving is highest level. It's already ready, and that's why they have shorter careers. Is because a lot of people say they are ready out the gate and take the most pounding. A That's why they're fresher and ready, and it's a position you just handed the ball and asked to be pure, and they've been doing that since the beginning of their lives in the game of football. So there's no question why that is the position that people hit the ground running with. So I approved that decision. I wasn't even mad at that. It makes perfect sense for both teams. Okay. Other news: the fact that Joe Burrow is going to actually play this week, and I want to see Joe Burrow play. I want to see what he looks like. Because the Bengals, that's supposed to be their future. They're going to have to decide on this year, but injuries could play potential parts in a lot of things. It's a huge year for the NFL, having preseason back, having an extra game. It's going to be something to pay close attention to, and I'm going to have to go live on at least 2 times a day because I need y'all to get the subscribe. I'm going to get a better camera. I know y'all, but it's about what we're talking about. It's about coming into these live chats, telling me what you think, leaving your comments. There's news on news over here, okay? Stevie B, run the likes up, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to start doing at least 1 live a day. I promise the quality will get better. Just stick. But the content is what we're looking for. The content is what we want, okay? Real content, P, where you at? Pop, where you at? Mel, where you at? I need my guys in the chat. What's this? Yeah. Oh, of course she comes in live. Of course. Lulu Springs. All right, baby. My sweetie, my everything. Yes, we know, love. We know. All right. Appreciate you. All right. So it's funny how that comes to the end now. But ultimately, the NFL season is something to look forward to. With Cam Newton and Mac Jones competition potentially in New England, really, I like what I see from Mac Jones. I felt like you put him out there with the ones that's supposed to be better. He's going to get the ball better, and those offensive linemen appreciate a quarterback who uses the pocket correctly. And I don't know, man. I don't want to hop too high on the train. Oh my God, but Mac Jones is looking quite nice, and can't wait to see what it looks like in this preseason game. Wait to see what it looks like in this preseason game. Mac Jones is a completion monster, it looks like. I don't think we understand what that means. I look at him as a quicker version of Chad Pennington. Chad Pennington is a completion monster. Not the fastest guy in the world. I look at Mac Jones' instincts and his mobility, quicker, and just as accurate. Even his ball, I feel like is quicker. I compare Pennington to having what I call Peyton syndrome. They have that over-the-top softly, but it's very accurate. Somehow it gets there. Pennington suffered injuries that startled his career from being, stifled his career from being what it could have been. Give me a healthy version of a quicker Pennington. See, that's what I don't think people. Everyone's, you hear the people like, oh, Mac Jones is, he's just going to be this. He's basic. He'll complete the balls and do. Excuse me. Isn't the idea of being able to be accurate and complete balls all Peyton Manning ever did? Understanding of the game, extra studying. I'm sorry. Peyton Manning, did he ever have the strongest arm? Pennington ever have the strongest arm? I'm comparing him to who he deserves to be compared to in Pennington. His potential, I feel like he's greater than that because I think he'll keep himself. He's capable of keep him healthy if he pays attention to his footwork. If he keeps up his training over the years with simple things and the basics, the same way he may have and does right now. It's always about the basics, man. Pocket presence, footwork, and he looks to have it. I cannot deny the rumors about practice have me a little bit hyped. I haven't jumped on the hype train yet because, oh God, do I want to see Cam in this offense? Oh, I want to see him so bad. Cam can do so many things. We have so many running backs where anything is possible. We have 2 good tight ends. We have a couple of good receivers. It looks like we can do something. The defense looks great. Because, we have a Patriots nation over here, first and foremost. Even though we're critical about the league, we give all knowledge, The Patriots and their defense, he adds something. I feel like basically what they brought was Judon brings back what they had when they had the oh crap, how did I forget his name? See how quickly people figured out his name. Even though people switched to him. Right along the high side. Still think forgetting his name. I think that. Well, we'll remember his name. Wasn't the point of conversation, so I'm diving outside in the freelance right now. But that defense was good. Judon, Mills, and Duggar, people are going to bring something to the table. And the fact that you bring him back, Van Noy, thank you for coming back, Van Noy. Love you, Van Noy. I already had stated that you were the next guy in the league before you left to get your money. I never disrespected this man going to get his money. I knew this motherfucker would be coming back. Yo, I'm telling you, I thought of him as the connection of the long lineage of outside linebackers that know how to keep outside containment in this Patriots offense. That just happen to know where the ball is. The Vrabels, the Ninkoviches, and now the Van Mills. You are back in my good graces for coming back. Okay, again, it's the Tully Banter came and did his job. For a year too. Shout out to Tully. Shout out to I ain't seen you since those nights we were chilling. Out there in Canton at the bars and such. Funny dude. Spent some days chilling with Tully, but you are back. You are welcome back into Patriots Nation because you have held down the lineage of that outside linebacker position, that left outside linebacker position, where you damn sure better keep the edge and make sure to set the edge every time. That be sniffing around the ball for no reason at all times. So I feel like he's within the Patriots family with that position. The way we were against, I feel like really was more than just that. Really was a sacrifice. You guys, Vrabel, you up there, but none of y'all. It's Willie can put his hand down and be a defensive end if he wanted to. All right, it's the lineage. It's Willie. It's the Vrabel. It's the lineage. It's the Van Noy. And if you notice, each one gets softer. Each one down the lineage is not as hard nosed as Willie. And don't forget, linebackers like Chris Slade. Like Patriots. And they tried to bring in dude from Baltimore. to be an outside linebacker, but he was too stiff, had no flexibility. Patriots have a tradition of that outside linebacker position being held down, and it's gotten to the point where your instinct and your technique matter. You can't be Willie, but you can hold the A, but you can do the job. And I respect, the Ninkoviches and the Van Noys. Let's drink our herbal tea drink. We don't. Can't start our day with good energies and vibes. Remember, shout out to drinking your herbal tea drinks, everybody. Okay, so cold or hot, you make a whole pot of it, steep it, cool it, drink your herbal tea drinks. But yeah, shout out to the Patriots. Hightower's got something to work with on that defensive end now. A little sad that Chung's not going to be there. Whatever. The man's played a long career. He should do his thing. Sure, make his good money. And he came back, made himself a Patriots legend. Shout out to everybody. Subscribe. Hit me. Hat Hair. Matrix. Stevie B. Out.